So you're feeling left out. Maybe you didn't get invited to the party. Your friends are going out without you. Maybe you found out there's an extra group chat you're not in. Whatever. It sucks. I've been there. It really sucks. I've been left out of my fair share of events. For all of high school, really, there was only a few things, like I think 3, that I went to with my group. My group would hang out, like, I don't know, however often they hung out, like every 2 weeks or something. And I only went to like barely any of the actual events. I just wasn't really invited anywhere. And then for parties, I just only went to the big ones where it was just like everyone was going. And even then, I only went to about half of the big ones because for the other half, I just didn't know the host, so I couldn't get an invite. And I can't ask my friends for invites because we weren't even that close, so they'd probably say no. In fact, I actually did ask for an invite for one of them, and my friend kind of just said, like, he would just jokingly said yeah, but then didn't actually go ahead and do it. So I know how it feels to just like be sitting at home and it's maybe like, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and you just know like everyone from your grade, just like 100 people that you know are just having fun, talking to girls and stuff, and you're just sitting at home. It feels really bad. But I've actually learnt from one of my parties that I don't know if it actually is that bad. It still sucks, but I think actually going is not as good as we always think it is. So I hope I can kind of make you feel less bad watching this video by sharing my experience. So there was this party in grade 11, Halloween party. Um, I asked the host if I could come. They said yes. So this was my second party, or no, yeah, it was my second like proper like party that I'd ever been to. Anyway, I got there and my friend group was there, and I knew like 90% of the people there, and I still just wasn't really able to get along with the people there. So I ended up not having a very good time. Sure, you guys have probably experienced this if you have been invited to a party where you just didn't really like fit in properly. I kind of was just walking around trying to talk to random people, and I would just stand in like a group of people and not say anything. So it'd just be like I walk up to a group who are talking, and then they wouldn't acknowledge me, and then I'd kind of just stand there and listen to the conversation for a couple minutes, not say anything. No one would like include me, but I wouldn't say anything either. And then I would just walk away, go to another group, repeat. And I was kind of just wandering around, and I'd like gone to the party by myself. My friend group had all like gone together separately, and I was just feeling really lonely at that party because it was just like I was invisible. So I think you should keep in mind, if you didn't get invited because you wouldn't fit in with the people there. But that's not to say that you're like worse or you're not worthy of going to the parties. You just might lack the communication skills to be able to like make deeper friends with people, and then you would be able to have fun at these social events. Or maybe it is that you're actually just a really unique person, and you just don't really you wouldn't be able to get along with the people at parties because you wouldn't have enough in common to talk about. I think those are the two situations. So for either of those, if you had actually gone to the party like me, or if you'd gone to whatever social event, you probably wouldn't end up having that much fun there anyway. And you can get to that point. So in the future, you might be able to go to parties and get invited out with your friends. So I don't think it's like if you don't get invited now, you'll never get invited. You're just not a party person. You're just never gonna like really. No one's gonna want you around. I don't think that's true. I think they just might not know you well enough yet. So if you're not getting invited out and you're sitting at home right now feeling left out while everyone you know is out somewhere, just remember it's temporary. Either you'll find your people and you'll be able to hang out with them, or you'll get closer to the people around you and you'll be able to hang out with them. I mean, remember, like, I'm sure the friends or the people who you're most close to now, you haven't always been close to, right? So at some point you had to go from being complete strangers to making like somewhat friends with them. So you're just going to continue that path, and then eventually you'll become friends with them, right? So you've just got to be patient. And as for right now, just remember, like, it's just a normal night for you. Nothing bad has actually happened. The only thing that's like making it a bad night, that's like ruins your night for you, is just feeling left out. So I know like being aware can't just make the emotions go away straight away, but just remember, like, you're just chilling at home. You're actually kind of having kind of fun time at home. Just because everyone else is doing something, don't let that ruin your night. One thing I like to do when I'm kind of sad is I just write down like what I'm thinking very briefly, and then I just try my hardest to stop thinking about it. And that way, because like the next morning you always just don't feel as motivated, and you just, whatever you said you were going to do that night, you just end up going, oh, it's not actually that important, I don't need to do it. I think if you write it down, what you're feeling, and then look at it in the morning or like in a week, you'll remember how important it is to you that you work on this thing. So if you really want to get invited to parties, then you write it down, and then you just keep looking at what you wrote, and that'll remind you to build these connections so that you can get invited in the future. And also remember, however many views this video gets is all the people who are in the same situation as you. And like if this gets no views, I don't know, just think of like, there's probably some video out there that has like 1 million views on the same video I'm making. So like you're probably forgetting how many other people there are that are in the exact same situation as you. So you're not alone. Plenty of people go through this. So just stay strong, and yeah, see you next time.